everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing fine today. I'm Hening Pujasari. In today's video, we're going to talk about the mechanism of autoimmunity.
Alright, before I start, as we know, immune system is a complex network of cells and proteins that defends the body against infection by foreign substances called antigens. Normally, immune system works efficiently and defend our body well against the antigens. However, the aberration of the human immune system can occur in some circumstances. It makes an inappropriate response and cause disease. To know more about it, let's start our discussion. So, apparently, there are two general categories of immune disorders. They are excessive immune response and deficient immune response. Excessive immune response is an over-hyperfunctioning immune response. For example, the autoimmune. Autoimmunity can be seen as a way of describing the etiology or cause of abnormal excessive immune response toward the self-tissues. The autoimmune reactions are mediated through type 2 and type 3 of hypersensitivity mechanisms. The hypersensitivity describes the mechanisms of how the injury occurs. Let me explain these two types of hypersensitivity briefly. The type 2 of hypersensitivity are well known as cytotoxic and cytolytic reaction occurs when the antibodies are formed when against antigens or cell surface, usually resulting in lysis on the targeted cell, and the peak action is up to 15 until 30 minutes. The cause of type 2 is the exposure to antigens or foreign tissues, cells, or graft. The antibodies activate the complement system, interfering within normal cellular functions to targeting cells for phagocytosis. After that, opsonized cells are usually eliminated in the spleen. Then, inflammation occurs. Antibody bound to cellular or tissue antigens activate the complement system. Products of complement activation serve several functions. This mechanism of injury is exemplified by Goodpasture syndrome and pemphigus vulgaris. After that, the antibody-mediated cellular dysfunction. Next is hypersensitivity type 3. Hypersensitivity type 3 is characterized by an immune complex or called as Artist reaction. It is an activation of complement and subsequent tissue inflammation and destruction caused by the deposit of antigen antibody in tissues. The peak action is up to 6 hours. The causes of type 3 reaction are persistent infection and extrinsic environmental antigen. The antibodies opsonize cells with or without complement proteins and target the cells for phagocytosis. It expresses receptors for the Fc tails of IgG molecules and for complement proteins, and it results the depletion of the opsonized cells. The antibodies and immune complexes may deposit in tissues or blood vessels and elicit an acute inflammatory reaction by activating complement. The inflammatory reaction causes the tissue injury. The antibodies can bind to cell surface receptors or essential molecules and cause functional derangements without cell injury. The autoimmunity happens when the human cells are recognized as foreign subject, induce an immune response to cause an injury on the self-tissues. This causes to lose the self-tolerance, lose the reactions between self-antigen and immune response. So, what is the mechanisms of autoimmunity? There are 4 mechanisms related to autoimmune. The first one is hidden antigen, for example, spermatozoa, semiostables, keratin, and sebum. Then, there is a change of antigenic profile through chemical action. It is related to the surface receptors, and the chemical's action change the antigenic profiles. Third, there is a change of antigenic profile through viral action, such as viruses, cells, surface antigen, and virus-coded antigens. Last but not least, an antibody cross-reaction with the variant antibody and the body's own cell. The autoimmunity has several theories. The first theory is about an antigenic mimicry. The antigenic mimicry evoked by the viruses or bacteria. It is related to epitope, an antigenic determinant that's recognized by the immune system. So, the antigenic mimicry happened when the microorganism and soft tissue share the epitope each other. The second theory is the sequestered antigens trigger the immune response. It happens when the site contains hidden self-antigens are damaged. The third theory is related to the number of T cells, when some self-products are not exposed to the developing T cells. Fourth is the number of B cells, when certain of B cells are losing their responsiveness to suppressor T cell signals. There is also a genetic predisposition. It associated with MHC types and female gender. The viruses may alter cells too. Okay, now you already understand. Let's have a quiz. Here are 4 mechanisms of autoimmunity. Which one is not true? A. The hidden antigens. B. A change of antigenic profile through chemical action. C. A change of antigenic profile through viral action. D. An antibody cross-reaction with the variant antibody and the body's own cell. E. The human cells are recognizing objects as familiar objects. Alright, that's all for today. We have discussed the mechanisms of autoimmunity and the 4 theories related to autoimmunity. In the next session, we will talk about hemodynamic alteration. Please stay tuned and I hope you're still excited. Thank you. See you soon.